This is the Sports Porch, Black and Gold, with your hosts, the Technical Director, the Grand Schwabini, and Hockey Jesus. Come on, Pittsburgh. Let's show a little Steelers, Penguins, and Pirates love. The Sports Porch Black and Gold starts now. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It starts right now. Everybody needs to mute their microphones, please, Lord Almighty. Once again, I get distracted by these guys before the show.
I was muted,
and then everybody they kick them. It doesn't matter.
What else? What else would it? What else would it be but a? What else would it be but a show starting with our technical director making excuses?
Welcome to the porch.
Okay. Listen up, guys. This is the Sports Porch Black and Gold, and you're watching us right now on YouTube. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, click notifications so you know when we're live every Monday night, like tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I drop the podcast right after the show. No doubt you can listen in your car on the way to work like we do every Tuesday morning. Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio app, all that stuff. And, of course, we're on Facebook as well. Follow us there. Follow us on X. We would love that. I'm the technical director. I'm Chris. Sitting across from me in the studio is the Grand Schwabini. And down below us on the screen in studio is Hockey Jesus, who preaches after every single
the gospel
hockey game. Yes. And by the way, this is going to be a little bit of a hockey themed show. I think there may be some stuff going on there. So
yeah, I apologize, Amy, ahead of time. There may be some outbursts. The Penguins are playing.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I mean,
lower your microphone.
For those of you who are just tuning in or here on a regular basis, thanks for being back. Hockey Jesus here. When there's a Pens game on, he can't control himself. We've asked him to, actually, in the name of professionalism and all that is holy about my blood pressure, to not scream out during the game if something good or bad happens, but it might happen. Mm-hmm. And
it's like Penguins Tourette's.
It's
that's well put. Yeah. That's fantastic. That is definitely the disease.
I love
using
that.
Your doctor degree. There,
I feel like for some reason we're going to get in trouble for that, but yes, Penguins Tourette's. Who else has it out there? Drop us comments on YouTube, wherever you're watching. We want you to be a part of the show. There's a lot, man, to talk about tonight. I want to talk about something real quick that was news, but maybe not news. And we're in the epicenter of, Steelers Nation here in the Monroeville basement studio, and everybody that I know of in this town, for the most part, everybody, they hate Bill Belichek. And Bill Belichek, we already know, old news, but he got snubbed as a first ballot Hall of Famer. And the first thing I thought was, what? Like, what?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's totally insane. I mean, it's really simple. Who has the most Super Bowl victories as a coach? He does. He's in.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Now let me ask you this. Well, let's hear.
Of course, I don't agree with you guys.
I mean, this is unreal. I mean, here's the thing. Take every bit of common sense out of HJ just after he said that. Come on, give me a break, dude. You can't honestly say that.
Yeah,
you're going to tell me that you think he should be snubbed?
Yep. I have reasons. That's one of them.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead.
Spygate, one.
Yeah.
There are already two candidates that are absolutely getting in, Drew Brees and Larry Fitzgerald. They absolutely belong in the Hall of Fame on the first ballot.
Well, one coach goes in every time. Or none.
One or none.
Right.
There doesn't have to be a coach. That coach or whoever it is has to get the 40 out of the 50 votes. He got 39. Okay, so he was really close. But Robert Kraft was also on the ballot. So that was the problem. They put too many guys on the ballot that were too similar to him. And you got the Brady factor. I mean, let's face it, Brady then won a Super Bowl without him. So that cachet goes down. I would say if Brady didn't win another Super Bowl and he didn't go on, he probably squeaks in. He probably gets that last vote. He probably gets 40 and he gets in on a technicality. But honestly, I mean, Frank Gore deserves to get in before he does. Jason Witten deserves to get in before he does. Phillip Rivers deserves to get in before he does. I just have this thing about coaches.
No way.
Coaches, they don't play a single down, and they put together a staff.
Are you really listening to this? Are you kidding me?
He's got the most Super Bowl wins of any coach ever.
Yeah, I mean, HJ, I don't mean any disrespect, but it's like, where do you come up with Phillip Rivers deserves to be in the Hall of Fame before Bill Belichick? Rivers never even won a Super Bowl. Never even played in one.
Well, maybe if he coaches, he'll get 7.
Okay. All right.
I just, I guess I have a beef with just putting in coaches in general. Yeah. I just think, that and the seniors, it's just like the Hall of Fame to me is turned into a little bit of a joke because they just let almost everybody in, Yeah.
Look, I don't think you're not going to have a lot of debate there. I think a lot of us feel that way. Now I want to bring this up. I brought this up because the other night, my wife and I, we were traveling back from our vacation. If you watch last week's show, we were way down south in the Caribbean somewhere. And
it must be a hard life.
We were enjoying. Yeah, it is. It is a very hard life. And for those of you who think that somehow I am spoiled because I think I'm sitting here with 2 of them, all I want you to know is that we did go down to a nice place, and
I don't know what that hat means.
And I got the hat.
I don't even know what that means.
You don't know what an
I guess
is?
I guess I'm not like super rich like you. Tell me what it means.
It's probably a type of car.
What's a Hublot? I have no idea.
Yeah, but I got the hat.
Yeah.
Okay. So I didn't get the Hublot. I got the hat.
Of course.
That the dude threw in at the end of the session or whatever.
What the hell is it? What's a Hublot?
Listen, you guys.
I don't know. The end of it doesn't sound right.
Comments. Hublot.
It sounds very dangerous.
Are you going to tell us what a Hublot is?
No, I'm gonna let our viewers tell you.
So I'm gonna have to look it up here.
Is. Yeah.
All right,
Go ahead.
Pat off track is right on there.
What do you say? Do not look. What did Pat off track?
Pat says, "Do not look at the Basketball Hall of Fame."
Yeah, we're not.
I'm just saying Hall of Fames in general have turned into
it's a watch.
Hall of mediocrity.
Yeah,
it's a watch.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's a watch.
Ridiculous.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, it's not just any watch. So, okay.
Yeah, well, it's just like a ridiculously expensive watch. It probably costs like 10 grand, like a Rolex.
Why not?
And
you got the money, I say spend it.
Looks like my Seiko tells the same time.
It does. Like I said, I got the hat. Okay. I got the hat.
And the wifey got the watch.
All I'm saying is I got the hat. That's what I'm saying. I got the hat.
You don't see a $75,000 watch on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the point of the Hublot hat anyway? To say I like expensive watches?
No. Well, no.
Yeah,
I think at the time it was to make
it can be a flex.
At the time it was to
Just
make
the sun was out. You needed shade.
At the time it was to make the husband feel a little better about being there for a half an hour.
There you go.
Okay.
You were here a half an hour. Here, have a hat.
Like, here's a consolation prize.
Did you take a seat in the husband chair?
I most certainly did.
Okay.
You probably would have been better off outside smoking cigars.
I did. I did that too. Okay. All right. Where were we going? Oh, yeah. Belichick.
Hall of Fame.
This is going to be it for me. This is going to be it. I was listening to the show. We came home on Saturday. We got home really late Saturday night. I love the new Pittsburgh International Airport. There are parts of it I love.
Nice.
Parts of it I really don't like. That's another story for another time. But it was a horrible day of travel. My car was underneath.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
My car was underneath an entire foot of snow in the parking lot. It took me 45 minutes to get it dug out. We get all the way home. I'm wired. I'm listening to Westwood One sports radio in my car. And I hear this guy I've never heard before, John Lund, talking about this very subject.
JL.
And he made a really good point where he said the Hall of Fame should be after 5 years, you're eligible. Every player after 5 years is eligible. You're either in or you're not, you move on, you don't get another chance. And that's just the way it goes. Simplify it. I agreed with that. And a coach prior to him said that a few of the voters said that their excuse was that Belichek was still coaching in college. And,
that's a dumb excuse.
And
that
never
makes no sense.
Right. Well, then this guy brought up Bill Walsh and said he went from, the Niners to the Hall of Fame to Stanford to the front office.
That's
and
true. Yeah,
being a recovering Redskins fan that I am, I could not help myself. So I decided to call in and give him my own piece of knowledge that would back that up. And also let him know that
this has got to be quick. I apologize. I'm trying to get as many people as I possibly can here. Let's get to Chris in Pittsburgh. We got about 2 minutes, Chris. Thanks. Welcome. Go right ahead.
Hey, Sean, listen, I love the previous guy, what he said about Bill Walsh coaching in college and going into the front office. How about Joe Gibbs? He got into the Hall of Fame in 96 after retiring in 92. And then he comes back and coaches again. So who cares if Bill Belichick comes back into the NFL? You're absolutely right. I think it needs to be simplified. I think 5 years, you're either in or you're out. That's the best idea I've heard in decades.
It's just, thanks, Chris. I appreciate it. Not because I came up with it, but it's
just
we make things so complicated.
Well, you kissed his ass big time.
Well, and that's the thing is that, I didn't mean to kiss the guy's ass, but I got to tell you guys, I
mean, the best idea in decades.
Literally about the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame.
So the least amount of time, best idea in 20 years.
Right. Yes.
I mean, there's been what about the iPhone?
Yeah.
I think that was a big deal.
No, about the Hall of Fame. I think I think I made myself clear about that.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So I don't know what you guys think about that, but I cannot believe that this would this would go this way. I got one last counterpoint. You think Barry Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now why
should be
first ballot, right?
Yeah, well, it's too late for that.
Yeah, but should have been, right? First ballot.
Look at what he did for the game.
Why not Bill Belichick?
Because he's a coach.
Yeah.
How many times do I have to say it?
Well,
he wasn't a player.
He's saying both cheaters.
Yeah.
They are. Yeah,
okay.
That's true.
Ooh,
they are both cheaters.
I got him.
No, you're right about that. They are both cheaters and probably should disqualify him from getting on the first ballot.
Okay. All right. Well, and he did.
I stand correct.
Although one thing I will say, I think the dumbest one of all is Major League Baseball, where you got to reach what is it, 75%? And it's what happens is every year guys get closer and closer. They're 20%, then they're 30%, then they're 40%,
right.
And yet nothing has happened over this period of time. Just more and more people are yeah, they should probably be in. That's really stupid. I do agree with the premise of you either should be in or you shouldn't be.
Yeah, I like the one vote thing. I think that makes a lot of sense, and you just don't mix it up.
Right.
Pat is calling me a pro cheater. Pat, it's only cheating if you get caught.
Yeah. That's a friend of mine.
Pat says that's the best idea in decades. Have you ever used a thumb drive?
Yeah. I listen, guys, I don't know how many times I have to qualify this. I was talking about the Hall of Fame.
Maybe we should talk about the Super Bowl game.
Yeah.
There is a game coming up.
Is there a big game coming up?
I think on Sunday. Right?
By the way, just so you know, you can't say S Bowl. You have to say the big game because it's copyrighted.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
It's copyrighted.
The big game.
The big game in
Super Bowl.
San Francisco.
Arrest me.
Can I say in quotes the S Bowl?
Probably.
The Bowl of Super. That doesn't make any sense.
I'll have a bowl of soup, please.
Let's just talk about the game that's going to be played between the Seattle Seahawks
it's a big game.
and the New England Patriots.
The big game.
Who you got, people? Put it in the comments. We got to know. Who are you liking?
Yeah, I don't.
I think I'll start with this.
Are you recovered? You kind of got hammered.
I clearly think I clearly think that Seattle has the better team.
Oh, definitely. No doubt about it.
100% on that. And they deserve the win. Let's just put it that way. But the team in the Super Bowl that wins isn't always the team that deserves the win.
That is true. And you know what? Like
I don't know why it's like that.
I am not a believer in this garbage at all, but I know Chris Klein, the technical director, is a huge believer in this kind of crap. The mystique.
The mystique.
The mystique is the only thing that can get the Patriots to win.
I don't know. The Patriots have lost quite a few Super Bowls too.
But that was all pretty much before Brady. Well, no, they did. I mean, one of the Eagles,
yeah.
one of the Eagles, two to the Giants. Probably should have lost another to Seattle.
Yeah, right, definitely.
But and Atlanta.
That's what I'm saying. Like they have the mystique because they had Brady who could come back from ridiculous deficits and they were never out of the game.
But I
don't think that'll be the case this time.
Right. But this is like the kind of thing, like, for example, like what more could have happened to make the Patriots route, any easier?
Yeah. Even Drake May's dad said that.
Right. They get a lead and then it becomes impossible to move the ball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, their only touchdown in the game was basically handed to them.
Yeah. They started on the 10-yard line.
Right.
They had to go 10 yards.
I mean, it was like the easiest championship game victory of all time.
I don't know if it was the easiest of all time.
It reminded me of the Tuck Rule game.
It reminded me of that Fog Bowl game, right?
Yeah, I remember that, the Eagles and the Bears. But
right.
I was in Hawaii watching that game, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
at a YMCA.
Oh, here we go. Back to Hawaii.
All right. Anyway, that was
Hawaii.
It. That's all. Yeah.
Hawaii.
Yeah.
Kimemakulakali.
Yeah. Meli Kalikimaka. Anyway.
Yeah, I just don't see any way Seattle can lose this game, right?
Well, that championship game was.
Well, how do they lose?
The worst championship game you've ever watched?
The worst championship win.
I would say just the worst win. Like, it was just so undeserving.
It was. And
no, but
I'm worried about New England. I said early in the year after Drake May started playing some ball that I thought he was, the guy and they would go all the way, and they did. And it wasn't my NFL prediction. I blew that out of the water. But these last couple games, I am worrying that I think he's got. He's nervous. I just plain and simple. I think he's playing kind of like a guy with a deer in headlights.
Well, he hasn't played well in the playoffs, but at the same time, that's also sometimes not a bad thing.
Right.
He's not making any mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
not any big ones anyway.
Right. So, hey.
I mean, the first Super Bowl Big Ben was in.
Right.
He didn't play well.
No.
But their defense is not nearly as good as that Steelers defense that year.
No, but
and their running game's probably not as good either. And their offensive line,
Seahawks defense is pretty damn good.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Everything about them, their special teams, their defense, they can run it, they can pass it. I mean, they're just so multidimensional. It's hard to plug all those holes. And
somebody brought this up on sports radio over the last couple of days. I thought this was a really interesting point in that Seattle, they traded Russell Wilson to Denver. And then this past year, they traded DK Metcalf past offseason. And you look at the return that they got for it. Kevin McConnell in Minnesota really lobbied last year to keep Sam Darnold because of what he saw. I thought they were nuts for letting Donald go. I mean that for real. I didn't think Darnold was going to play necessarily at that high a level for the rest of his career, but I was like, you're crazy. I mean, you brought this team to the brink of a championship with a reclamation project, and you're going to let this guy go and trust this rookie who I don't know. He maybe.
Right.
You're going to let a sure thing in your system go for a maybe. And it comes out now that McConnell really lobbied to keep Darnold, and that's why there's a little bit of a rift going on there.
Sure.
You may see them sign another quarterback, or you might, who's to say, McConnell could be out, There's a guy that we could have seen the Steelers take if he was available. I'd have loved that over McCarthy. I mean, we're going to talk a little bit about McCarthy tonight just because he's been hiring some people. But Darnold going to the Seahawks, man, and the way he played and the way he shook off last year's poor playoff performance shows me that whether he wins, I think it's very important that he wins this Super Bowl given the trajectory of his career from here all the way to the bottom and back up. You can't kind of get stalled. But even if he doesn't win it, if he gets close, I think we're starting to see the guy that Sam Darnold was supposed to be. And that's the way I feel about
Well,
that.
he's in a good situation in Seattle. I mean, Geno Smith did it last year.
Right.
They're just plugging in the next guy. Their system works.
Right.
And they know what guy fits into the system.
And they know how to
when
draft.
they saw he was available, all right, nice goal there. And they know how to draft. So,
Tonight's disclaimer.
Yeah. Hey, I didn't get too excited about that.
Yeah, it was very low key. Very good.
You kept it under control.
Very good.
I'm trying for you guys and my fans.
So as much as I want to say that, I'm rooting for the Seahawks in this because I want to see Sam Darnold succeed. I don't know a whole lot about the dude, but I do know that in order to stay in the NFL as long as he has, which is 5 years after being touted as the second coming up in New York. But if they drafted Hockey Jesus up there, they'd tout him as the second coming for the Jets. They do that for everybody. But after having that, falling off a cliff and then traveling through some pretty poor organizations as far as the Panthers go and ending up in Minnesota, looking great, everybody doubting you, and now you're in Seattle. I say ball out, brother, and win the Super Bowl. I have a feeling that New England is going to try as hard as they can, but this is going to be a drubbing. That's my feeling. And I love Drake May, and I like Mike Vrabel, and I think New England, there is the possibility they could win this game, but they're going to have to game plan like Bill Belichick did. They're going to have to game plan like him. Drop your comment below. Let us know exactly how you feel about the Super Bowl right now. We're 7 days prior to it. We're actually going to do I guess I just found this out. We're going to do a sports porch for the Super Bowl. Are we? Are we going to do a post-game, pre-game? What are we going to do here?
Maybe we'll do a halftime show.
Halftime show.
You think so?
Yeah, I think a halftime show would be good because we don't want to watch whatever.
We're not watching Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny. We're not watching Bad Bunny.
Turning Point's doing an alternative halftime show.
Let's not watch that either.
Oh, it was a country concert. Probably really
I
good.
say 0 to both.
Can you? He wants to watch.
He likes
Turning
country.
Point.
I get it.
I like country. Yeah.
Mark's a country music guy. Nothing wrong with that.
Okay, so one of you guys keep eyes on the comments for me because that's what distracts
Everybody's
me.
liking Seattle. I've been seeing that a lot. Pat wants to know what town you're saying is terrible.
Yeah.
So Mike Lawrence is talking about Pete Rose. Pete Rose would have acknowledged his offenses and apologized right away. He would have been in right away. All these things are true. I mean, there's nothing you guys are saying in the comments that don't make sense. So
okay, so
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Keep them coming.
If you're watching us on YouTube and you haven't already, I put up a poll. Belichick Hall of Fame snub. Do you agree it was a snub? Do you agree it wasn't a snub?
I mean, vote on that.
How do you feel about that? If you're on X, thanks for being here. Click that follow button. Hop on over to YouTube and vote. I may try to put the poll up on Twitter a little bit later, X, Twitter, whatever the hell you want to call it. But it's
been X for years.
And it has actually, but it was Twitter for many years before that. And I didn't care then, and I don't care now.
Well, it's not Twitter anymore, but you can still tweet.
Yeah, that's the confusing thing.
That's what's got you messed up.
It is because what do? Do you call it Xing? And that brings up a whole other level.
Yeah,
right?
You don't want to start talking about Xing.
Yeah,
right.
No,
so,
you get a lot. You go down a lot of dark holes that way.
All right, share this out to all your black and gold sports fans, all your sports fans, people who love guys like us who like to jerk around all the time.
We do have to officially make our Super Bowl picks.
Poor choice of words, very poor.
Really bad.
Go on over to YouTube, hit subscribe, click notifications every Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. We are live. You can go back and listen on the podcast if you want. Right now, we are live on Radio PGH, and that's a real easy website, radiopgh.com. You can listen to us stream shit there all the time.
Looks like we got a parlay going in the in the comments.
Oh, do we?
Chris Chada is basically saying take Seattle in the points. Pat Off Track is saying take the over on the anthem. We need 2 more, guys. What do you think?
Can you
2 more.
Can you write them down?
I got them. I got them. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Because I'm trying to
we
monitor
need
this.
We need 2 more, guys. We're gonna bet on this, and we're gonna parlay it, and we're gonna see how much money we can get. Maybe we can afford a manager.
Yeah, an agent.
Mm-hmm. We're looking at an agent right now.
We do have some exciting news coming. So potentially,
what is that?
Well, we're interviewing for an agent.
Okay,
we're interviewing for an agent. Okay. Might just be somebody.
Any feelers out there?
Yeah, a couple. You're horrible. The Grand Schwabini. Okay, so we're doing the parlay. Yeah, drop your best parlay pick in the comments because we're going to do a parlay on probably what did we do it on last year? FanDuel? I did it on FanDuel, right?
Yeah. Yes, it was FanDuel.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So FanDuel is not a sponsor of this show. I feel like I have to say that if people aren't doing that, and I don't gamble ever. This is the only gambling thing I do. The Grand Schwabini's got a problem.
You did it with free money last time.
I did kind of. Yeah. Why? How did I do that?
I think my Max maybe gave you an in, and then you could use the free money.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. What I did is I played the little casino games until I got all the money back.
Right.
Then I quit.
Right. That's what you do.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Give me the in, and I'm all over it. Okay, so drop something in the comments, in the YouTube comments. X, we can't see your comments right now. I apologize for that. YouTube or Facebook, if you're watching, in the comments. We're going to do a parlay. It's got to be at least, we had 5 legs last year.
Yeah, I think we did.
So we want 5 legs. We have 2 so far. Okay, so we got 2. 3 more legs of this parlay, and if for some reason it's not available, we'll just flip to one that we think works. How about that?
Definitely.
Okay, so the big game, Super Bowl, your thoughts, who's going to win? Grant Schwabini, give us your pick.
I'm going to go with the Seattle Seahawks, though I do think it'll be close, unlike you guys. I will say that the Seahawks will win 31-28.
Ooh, a very entertaining football game.
Very entertaining.
I think the Seattle Seahawks will also win, but I don't think there'll be nearly as much scoring as you. I don't know. There are a lot of new players here that are going to be in the Super Bowl for the first time, and that usually means a scoreless first quarter. Just a lot of don't want to make mistakes, don't want to throw the ball too hard, that sort of thing. So I'm looking at more like a 21-17 win.
I got to stick with what I said earlier because if somebody goes back and checks, they're gonna see me, hear me say I think it's going to be a drubbing. And again, I want to preface this with I really like the New England Patriots and what they're doing up there. As a Steelers fan, it hurts me to see that, but you have to be right about it. You have to say what's right. You got to be, objective. But that being said, I think Seattle's defense is much better. I think Sam Darnold is out to prove something. I hope he does. He deserves it. The Seahawks with Jackson Smith and Jigma, who I think his over on the game is 93 yards because of how well he's performed. I actually think he's going to go over that. And I think the Seahawks are going to win 35-13. 35.
Wow.
That's a realistic
we'll be done watching
score
in the third quarter.
Is it over at halftime?
No, I think the Patriots are good. Now, I do think the Patriots can win. I don't think this is a guaranteed drubbing. You know what I mean? But what I think happens is the Patriots play really tight through halftime. Maybe even have the lead 10-7, 14-10, something like that. But come third quarter, fourth quarter, that Seattle defense really starts to get to Drake May, and that's when Seattle kicks in that running game. And this is Darnold's time to shine. He proved that he could shake off the happy feet from last year's playoffs in these couple playoff games. I mean, hell, 274 yards against the Rams, in that game to go to the championship. He's got the balls to do it, and this is his time to shine. That's why I think it happens. You heard it here. Of course,
okay.
Who did you pick? You picked Seattle too.
Yes, sir.
And so did you.
Yep.
So, the Patriots are probably going to win, since all 3 of us picked the same one.
Probably in the history of the NFL, I don't know how often this has occurred, but I'm going to say there's probably more birds that beat humans than humans that beat birds.
This is kind of like, this goes back to our thing.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can the Patriots wear red, white, and blue? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Can a Seattle Seahawk be green?
Sure.
I don't think so.
I think so.
But here's the thing, though. This is
They're
what,
in nature, so I mean,
Yeah.
this is what we did, though, Steve.
We
It
did.
was, our Patriots real? Yes. Yes, they were real. Our Seahawks real? Yes,
oh yeah, that's
they
right.
were real.
Something that's fake.
Our Eagles real? Yes,
Yeah.
they are real.
I remember
the
now.
real logos.
Mhm.
Broncos are real. They win Super Bowls.
Mhm.
Mhm.
You know, Saints, they're real.
Mhm.
You know, Redskins,
Mm,
alternatively, were
Well,
were real.
formerly known as the Redskins.
Lions are real. They
Yeah.
can't win anything.
Yeah, but they're real. They're real.
Well, what's not real?
Chargers, like lightning bolts. Lightning bolts.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
real.
okay.
Lightning is real.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen lightning
They're
before.
not called the lightning bolts.
Okay.
They're not the lightning.
Okay.
They're the Chargers.
Texans. Yeah, they're real.
Yeah,
I
Texans
guess.
are real.
Yeah, everybody in Texas.
I
is a
got
Texan.
one for you. Titans.
Titans aren't real.
With the big swords. Yeah, but they got a big sword. They're not saying
No.
business Titan. They're saying big sword Titan.
Browns,
No,
right
I
on.
mean-
Pat off track. Browns.
I mean,
Yeah.
I would venture to say at one point a Viking is a Titan of sorts.
Yeah, but you're mixing two teams. You're mixing DNA.
I'm saying it's the same thing.
Yeah, but Vikings,
And they're real.
Vikings were real.
Right.
Yeah, but Titans are not real.
I think Titans were real. I mean, like, when they were getting around
Titans real.
when they're gathering around the Coliseum, when you're having your gladiator battle, it was like, all right, who are the Titans today?
Okay. Okay. All right.
That's a stretch.
Yeah, I think that's a stretch, and I want to know if Titans are real. I want people to tell me this, so I'm going to put that poll up there. And while I'm doing that, I want Steve to remind you how you can find us all the time. Please, Steve, do that for us.
Oh, well, you can find us anywhere. You can find us mostly on YouTube. That's where we would like you to find us the most. And you can do that by hitting that subscribe button. And if you even hit the bell button, guess what? Ding-a-ling. We're going to come to you every Monday at 7 o'clock. That's right. All you got to do is hit it. And what we would really want you to do is hit that like button. That really is fantastic for us. And then when you share it out, well, that's just the triple header of goodness. So please do those things for us, and we will continue to be here for you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. There is a poll up on YouTube right now. Are Titans real or not? Are they real or not? This could determine their very fate on whether or not they would eventually win a Super Bowl. Isn't that correct,
Yes,
HJ?
absolutely. According to the way we think.
It is correct. Okay, a little bit more Steelers here. Then we'll move on to some other fun stuff. Amy May wants us to talk about this. Yes. Well, first of all, I can never fault Amy May for much other than when she used to stalk me at TJ's. But she kind of backed down on that, Schwaber. So I'm glad you said something to her.
Well, she told me recently that she felt that you're starting to look more and more homeless.
Yeah.
So she was keeping her distance. But I see you shaved. You've come back to earth.
Yes.
You've come back to earth.
My God, you'd think I work at a bank again. All right. Steelers coaches. How do you guys feel about what's going on? Who was the guy they just hired for defensive coordinator from
Patrick Graham.
Patrick Graham.
Graham, I kept forgetting Patrick.
PG.
How do you guys feel about him? How do you guys feel about Patrick Graham?
I don't know enough about him to really formulate an opinion. He's new, so I like that, to be honest with you. But played with the Raiders, the Giants, and the Dolphins. Those are losing franchises. So that doesn't mean anything. I'm not saying that necessarily means anything, but I'm okay with it. I like the fact that he's unknown, because that could mean new things for the defense, and anything new on the defense will be a breath of fresh air. What do you think, Mark?
Well, like you, I know nothing about him. So it's really hard to say. Right after it was announced that he was the DC, I heard a whole slew of sportscasters on the radio talking. More of them seem negative than positive.
Yeah.
But like you said, it was kind of more a factor of who he was coaching, that the teams weren't very good.
That's where I'm going.
So it's hard to say. I mean, we'll have to just sort of like wait and see. But I do agree that the good news is we now know that Patrick Graham?
Yes.
Yes.
We do now know that Patrick Graham is in charge of the defense, and whatever it looks like will be because of Patrick Graham. Whereas last year we never knew. Is it Tomlin? Is it
last 10 years?
Right. So it's like it was hard to even blame anybody. So look, to be honest, I mean, like the Steelers defense wasn't bad last year. I would say it was like above average. Yeah. I mean,
it was disappointing because they said they were going to be elite historically.
Right. I mean, they came up with their splash plays, which looked good a lot of weeks, but then when they didn't, they gave up a lot of yards and they didn't look great. So I'm interested to see what somebody new can do with the defense.
Yeah.
Okay, the poll so far, 67% saying no, Titans are not real. Go to YouTube, click subscribe, click notifications. Pat Off Track, Oilers are real, Titans are myths. Thank you, Pat Off Track. Patrick Graham. Okay, so here's the thing. I got the entire, all of Steelers Nation basically was saying, who the hell is this guy?
Right.
Okay. So
they're still saying.
First of all, I want to remind everybody of something, and this may be obvious, and you may say, Chris, what's your problem? We already know this, but I do happen to be Mr. Obvious once in a while. Look, every coach that comes in hires his guys, all the way back. So all this scuttlebutt about McCarthy hiring these guys and McCarthy's old, get over it. All right. We're going to see more and more of this. There is one guy he's talking to right now who I really like. We'll save that for our next discussion. But Patrick Graham, here are a couple things. I looked this up. I did ask AI, and then I went back and verified most of it. Las Vegas Raiders in 2023, 9th in points allowed per game overall, led the NFL in points allowed weeks 9 to 18, 15th in total defense, top 3 in sacks weeks 9 through 18. On the Raiders in 2022, his defense improved from 28th to 15th in total defense. Right. When he was with the Giants, he improved from 30th to 9th in points allowed, 4th in pass defense. Pro Football Focus ranking in 2024 ranked him 9th among NFL defensive coordinators. Why he's highly regarded: rapid improvement. He consistently turns struggling defenses into top units quickly, as seen with the Giants and the Raiders. He excels at maximizing talent and adapting schemes, even with limited resources. That's one of the things that they talked about. Now, yes, there are some years that his teams did not perform well, but you have to remember, a coaching staff is a team in itself. And they've got to all be on the same page. And if they're pushing the same message consistently throughout the organization, it gets through. And what have we had issues with? We just talked about it. We never really knew who was calling the defense.
Right.
We're going to know that now.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yeah.
We never really knew who was calling the offense, even though it looked like Artie Smith was making the calls. But I mean,
we already know who's going to run the offense. It's McCarthy.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the offensive coordinator, although it's named to be Scott Tolzien.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it's going to be?
Yeah. That's the reported.
That's a pretty good pick.
I mean,
I think so.
And he's a quarterbacks guy, right? That's what we need. We need a quarterback.
Exactly right.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
Let him work with the quarterbacks. Let me make the plays, right?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love this comment by Chris Chada because, Chris, real softball question here. What would McCarthy have to do for you guys to say, okay, the Tomlin era is over? Take the job. And he did.
Yeah.
He took the job.
See him on the sidelines in a preseason.
Nothing. It's already over.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, we love you, Chris, but
the Tomlin era is over. Yeah.
The only thing I will just put a little addendum to with Tomlin is, as more time's going on now without hearing from Tomlin, there's a lot of speculation about
sour grapes.
Maybe this was a little bit of a topsy-turvy ending here, because normally what you would do in this situation is, you would say, Mike's come to, realize that, it's time for a change. They'd have a press conference and he'd, talk about how much he loved his time with the Steelers and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And that hasn't happened.
I agree.
And they a lot of people sort of feel like there can really be only one reason why that didn't happen. And that's there's negative stuff on the brain, and that's why it's not happening.
Yeah. Tomlin never really liked the media either.
No.
So, I mean, the fact that he wouldn't come out for the media and give them, the last crack at him doesn't surprise me.
Mm-hmm.
But it is surprising that he didn't come out with art and just, like all the other coaches did and say, my time here's over, like you said, just show face.
Yeah.
That is a little strange. I agree with you.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, like for example, when the Eagles fired Andy Reid.
Yeah.
When they fired Andy Reid, they give him like a going away party. Like, hey, you're the best coach in Eagles history. And they gave him a press conference and they walked him into the cafeteria, and everybody that was like, Philadelphia Eagles employee gave him a standing ovation. And, and that's what they did. They just talked about like, hey, it was just time for a change.
Not here. They don't do that here.
Yeah. So it was
Cowers slinked out of town too.
No, he had a press conference.
Well, he had a press conference, but it was not a very inspiring press conference, if I remember rightly.
That's correct. It was quick. It was to the point.
It was kind of curt.
Over.
Yeah, it was kind of curt. Mm-hmm. So I and we're kind of, this is all spilt milk anyway. But yeah, it's strange that he did not stand up in front of the people of Pittsburgh and pay his last respects. And I think over time, that's going to sink in here. That sinks in here.
Yeah, I think it will.
This town is they'll give you a chance. They'll give you some leeway. They really will, more than a lot of towns will. But in the end, when they think about things, that's going to be looked at as a why. And look, there's lots of internet rumors going around. They're all bullshit.
Yeah.
But yeah, nobody knows. And it could be as simple as it was time to go. And I didn't have anything left to say. My last playoff game said it all. It's a big, I agree with you. But I would have liked to have heard from him.
Yeah,
Yes.
We'll hear from him at some point,
For sure.
Well,
yeah.
we'll definitely hear from him if he decides to take a job at ESPN or wherever they're trying to recruit.
Yeah, probably one Sunday, like, Melissa Stark's going to sit down with him and,
I did drive past his house today, and there is not a for sale sign.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Tomlin's house.
Yes.
Really?
Maybe the Diva wants to get on that.
Yeah.
Although he could be giving it to one of his kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's possible.
Or he could be staying. He could be like, I'm just going to stick around for a little. I mean, it's
I don't
not
know.
like
Taxes just went up in the city.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I'm sure that house is
let's
a big
go down.
tax bill.
Yeah. Let's go down that. Let's go down that road now. Let's go down that road now.
All right.
You would need a counselor for that one.
All right, guys.
I
Listen,
am feeling that I want some Christianity right now.
Okay. Before that, though, I want to say you need to subscribe on YouTube at the Sports Porch Podcast. That would be great. Click that subscription button. Hit the notifications. You'll know we're live every Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. And you'll also know that Hockey Jesus here on the porch showing you, let's back that off to get it into maybe, it'll center the camera, little Jesus thing.
Little Jesus is too
anyway,
small.
Hockey Jesus here on the podcast. He's currently in the studio watching the Pens, who are leading
1-0
Ottawa,
at the end of first. Looked like they were being outplayed.
Breach is on the podcast after every single Penguins game. You can catch him live, even if they're on the West Coast. You can also catch up with him the next morning if you need to on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcast, Spotify, anywhere you get your podcasts. Hockey Jesus, listen, I got to tell you, I'm excited. I really like what's going on with the Penguins right now, and I think that I don't know. To me, we're well past that Thanksgiving, that magical Thanksgiving. They're second in the Metro with 64 points.
That's correct.
See, I am following now.
You are. You got it.
And it looks like they're getting contributions from all 4 lines. Now, did Sully only play 3 lines?
Sully only had 1 line.
I know, but did he have 3 official lines? I meant to ask that last
There's
week.
always 4 lines,
Okay,
but last year, honestly, there was only really 1 line.
Got it. Okay, so
the first line carried the whole team.
It looks like from a coaching perspective, we're getting some mixing and matching here that's working. And it looks like possibly this Skinner trade ended up being a little bit better than we thought. Is that true?
I know. Yeah. It's absolutely true.
Okay.
I mean, if Edmonton could do everything, they would probably take it back. But here's why Edmonton did the deal, because they wanted to prove that Skinner was the guy who was the problem. And guess what?
He wasn't.
He was.
Right.
He was actually propping them up, because they haven't tanked since then, but they got Jari. We know what Jari is. Jari is, I'll have a shutout one night. I'll give up 6 goals the next night.
Yep. Right.
I'll give up 3 games in a row where the first shot will go in. You know, this is who he is. And if they didn't realize that, then they're just shit out of luck.
Shame on them.
Yeah. So we'll take their problems. And the reality is, they could have signed Skinner for the contract that Jari got. You know, Skinner's probably going to be getting $5 or $6 million for 3 or 4 years. He's not going to get a big contract, but that's good for him. Yeah. Mike Lawrence.
He's on YouTube. Thanks, Mike, for being here.
Comments on almost Penguins collapse and the other night, but winning 6-5. Yeah. We'll talk about that Bruins collapse against Tampa in the Stadium Series too. Absolutely. I was at the game, Mike. Perhaps you knew that. They were never in danger of losing that game. I hate to say that, but they really weren't. And here's why. The Penguins were up 5-1. Okay. And then it was 5-2. Then it was 5-3. And then everybody's like, when they got to 5-3, there was like about 8 minutes left.
That's the worst lead in hockey, the 2-goal lead.
Yeah. When they cut the 4-goal game to 2, you're like, okay, they got some nice goals, you know, no big deal. There's 8 minutes left, and they started to eat some clock. And then they pulled the goalie, and then we get an empty net goal. So we're up 6-3. And then they score 2 goals at the end, mostly because the Penguins were just pissing around, to be completely honest. And they needed to score like 2 goals in like 30 seconds. That was never going to happen. They did make a mistake, though, and they iced the puck, and they did get a last-second chance that they shouldn't have gotten. But even that didn't make me nervous, because our ability to win faceoffs in our own end, we got 3 or 4 guys who are guaranteed to win a faceoff, and that's all you have to do when there's 2 seconds left. You win the faceoff, and that's the game's over, and that's what happened. So I didn't feel the same way I did earlier in the season, where you could feel the momentum. You knew they weren't going to do it. You knew they weren't going to get the empty net. You knew they were going to score with the goalie pulled, you know, that sort of thing. And there were some penalties there that were honestly iffy, to be completely honest. But I wasn't worried about the 6-5. I don't think that's a problem with this Penguins team right now. And I don't know if did you guys watch any of the Stadium Series game?
No.
I saw the highlights afterwards. It looked like it was a great game.
5-1, right?
Yeah.
Bruins are just absolutely tramping all over Tampa. And then there was a big goalie fight.
I know. How did that happen?
So what happened was Swayman had some guys in the front of the net who were kind of giving them the business, backing up into him, you know, knocking him around, and he just jumped on a guy. I don't even know who it was, but Swayman just jumped on a guy, and you know, it looked like he was actually maybe throwing some punches to the guy. It was hard to tell because, you know, Stadium Series, they don't actually have the best cameras.
Yeah.
But so it looked like that, and then he got up. When he got up, that's when Vasilevsky started coming down, and you could see Swayman saw him, and he started to skate out towards him, and you knew that was going to be it, because you could also see the ref saying, "Don't leave the crease, don't leave the crease," and it was too late. He was already at about half ice at that point. So that was the big turnaround. And then what happened is, the problem with the Boston Bruins are they give up way too many penalties. They're the most penalized team in the league by something like 100 minutes. It's like a ridiculous number. And And so that's what happened. They had a 5-on-3 for 2 minutes or something like that. Spoon being interviewed.
Yep.
Very nice.
Watherspoon.
And so that's what happened. I mean, Tampa Bay just took advantage of that. And from 5-1 the whole way down to 5-5. They got a goal late. I think I was surprised that Boston didn't actually score a goal. But most of those were power play goals, except for the last one. I think they scored the last one with the goalie pulled.
Now, was this game in Tampa?
Yeah, it was in Tampa.
Yeah. So how did that work? It was. Yeah. I looked at my weather and it said it was 40 degrees. I guess you can do it in 40.
No, it was 60 degrees when they were putting the ice up. So they had a tent over the ice.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, so they were basically air conditioning the ice.
See, that's crazy. I wouldn't have thought you could do that.
Yeah, well, they got lucky because it's historic colds down there. It's going to be high at 20. There's going to be a low at 28 tonight in Florida. I think people are losing their mind. And there was some flurries. So I think they just lucked out, to be completely honest with you, because it could have easily been 65 or 70 down there.
Right.
I don't know that ice would have survived.
Yeah, crazy.
But that's what they did in order to make it. They put a big tent over it. So, that's what's going on with the Stadium Series. But as far as the Penguins go, I mean, they're doing everything right. TD, you hit the nail on the head. Congratulations. You're actually learning some really positive things. And my microphone's messing up. So
I know.
That's okay.
Keep talking.
Keep talking. And so the reality is Muse is making all the right choices. And when it comes down to it, I can't talk with you. Screw me like that. I just can't do it. When you screw me like that, I got to take a pause. Okay, that's much better. Thank you, TD.
TD at his best.
Screwing me while I'm talking.
That's right. That's right.
Oh boy, yeah. Let's not do that one again.
I had to twist your microphone.
No, but that's the thing. They've got a lot of injuries now on the back line. Letang's going to be out for 6 weeks. Carlson was out for a while. They went out and got this Kolyanov. I can't even pronounce his name because they got rid of Puustinen. They just they're getting depth in all the right spots with all the moves they made. And that Chinnikov move looks like an absolute gold mine.
Told you he was good.
He's got a shot.
Did say that.
He's got a shot like nobody else. I mean, and the thing is, he's not afraid to shoot it. Some of the Penguins have some great talent. They're afraid to shoot the damn puck.
Right. Yeah.
Like Ben Kindle doesn't have a great shot. He's cerebral. He can get you the puck. He'll shoot it, but he's not very good at it.
He does the old shoot it into their middle of their chest.
Or he tries to pick a corner, right? Because he doesn't have a really hard slap shot.
Right.
But Chinnikov, my God, even the players are like, I wish I had his slap shot. They're just like, it's sick. He's pretty good at finding the holes.
So HJ, do you have a couple quick videos you want to show us?
Yes,
let's do that.
Let's talk a little bit about what constitute as a headshot in the NHL. Let's first play the Brian Rust. Okay. We're going to go back to the beginning on this one. Okay, here we go. So this is the Brian Rust video. Brian Rust is coming into play. Here he is. Oh, and the guy fell down. Okay, that right there constitutes a 3-game suspension.
It looked like you just hit him in the back.
That was Raquel who hit him in the back. He was the flyby on that.
Oh, okay.
And this is the other hit that happened the other day in the Washington Capitals.
And then they get running around. There's the heavy hit behind the.
Let's start from the beginning.
And then they want payback. And then they get running around. There's the heavy hit behind the net.
Let's see it again.
Stankoven goes running around, and Wilson's at center now, talking with Stahl, saying, "Hey, if you."
So, how many games do you think he got?
0.
0 games. That's right. Correct as usual, Mark. I just don't understand the player of department safety. It's like a joke. They're basically saying that Rust hit him on purpose to hurt him. And it was a dirty shot, but Wilson hit the guy head on and he should have known it was coming. So that was a clean shot. When clearly the second, the Wilson hit is much more violent than the Rust shot. It's a joke. It's a garage league sometimes, and it's run by meatheads, and unfortunately, that's what happened here. I don't agree with any of it, but good for Russ for just taking his medicine, sitting out the 3 games. That means he can play against the New York Islanders tomorrow night, and then the red-hot Buffalo Sabres on Thursday night.
Pat off track.
Yeah, so I love it.
Pat off track. Next Hockey Jesus is going to be.
I probably should give one tonight for this game.
Oh,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I guess I got to give one.
You can,
So it'll be
stick
tonight.
around. You can stick around, finish the game off here.
I got to get gas in my car. If I don't get any gas in my car, my lines are going to freeze up.
Oh, really?
That's how little gas I have in my car.
Wow.
It's not a smart idea.
Yeah.
When it's 5 degrees outside, guys, make sure you have gas in the tank.
Yeah.
You got to do it.
Pat off track. Brian Campbell versus RJ Umberger. I got Brian Campbell every time.
I just don't even know why you'd bring up both those players.
That's Pat off track for you. All right. Subscribe on YouTube if you're watching us now. We'd really love it. We're trying to grow the channel. Only a couple away from 400, guys.
Woo!
We keep bouncing
Just
around.
get us there. Come
397.
on.
Get us to 400.
Send
we
us
really
to
want to get
your
to
friends.
500.
Get us there. Let's get it.
Yeah. And if you're following us on X, if you're watching, thanks, man. We really appreciate it. Click follow. We would love to grow that following. We're so woefully bad on X. We got to figure this out.
Well, more people are watching us on X than any other outlet right now.
I know.
I don't know why you have 2 X's.
I'll explain that later.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of a test that happened by accident.
Yep.
Yeah.
Accident test. One of those accident tests.
Obviously, one of them.
Technical directing.
Well, so subscribe at the Sports Porch Podcast. We would really appreciate that. Click notifications every Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. You guys wanted to talk about the Australian Open. Do you want to talk about the Australian Open?
Of course.
It's in the description because
Yeah.
I wrote the description. So, let's talk about the Australian Open.
Let's have another shrimp on the bobby.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, let's face facts. Neither of us watched all the matches.
We did not because they were on at 3 a.m.
They were on at 3 a.m. So the joy of that is you can watch it and fast forward, and you can see where you want to watch the
That's true.
important spots, right?
That's true.
And that's pretty much what I did. Honestly, if you just watch the highlights, it doesn't give it quite the right feel, but it's
Right.
pretty close. It's pretty close. You can see the points, especially when maybe the game's tied. It's a 4-3 game and it goes in the deuce.
Right.
And then if somebody wins it, they go 5-3, or if the other guy wins it, they go 4-4. And then that's the part of the tennis that I really like to
What's
watch.
with Mike Lawrence here? Why is he glad that Sabalenka lost?
I like Sabalenka.
I mean, I don't like Sabalenka any better than Rabinica. Is that how you say her name?
Yeah, Rebecca.
Rebecca or something like
That's
that.
right.
But what's with the Sabalenka hate, Mike Lawrence?
Yeah. I mean, maybe because she's so good.
Yeah.
Between her and Swiatek, they've pretty much won all of them. Although Rabinka,
Yeah.
I'm saying that right. Rabinka, she won Wimbledon last year. So
Yeah.
I mean, she's a good player.
Although the thing with Sabalenka, which is kind of like I feel bad for her because she's one of those in her head types.
Yeah.
So like she loses the first set, she comes back, she wins 6-4, she's up 3-0 in the third. It looks like she's cruising, and then she only wins one more game.
Yeah.
I
I agree with you. I would like to play like Elena Rabinka, to be honest with you, because I think she has a calm head. Like she looks like she's very focused. She never shows her nerves. But the reality is, most of us would play like Sabalenka.
Yeah,
we'd be out there with our nerves. We'd want to slam the racket down.
Yeah.
We're gonna be screaming, "Let's go!"
Did you see the Coco Gauff in the dressing room slam a racket down?
No, I missed that.
Oh, she
She didn't deserve the win anyway.
She tore it to pieces,
Yeah.
man. And then of course, man,
The men's
I think we're all just really rooting for Djokovic to win one more
at
Grand
25.
Slam.
Yeah, get that at 25.
Get that one more, and finally he beats Sinner.
Yeah.
And it's like you get there and you got to play Alcaraz. I mean, it's just like it's like impossible. And he's completed the Grand Slam at all 4 Slam tournaments at like 25.
Yeah, he's like 23.
Like most
Yeah.
of them, it's like they get the last one in their 30s.
Yeah, in their 30s. It's always the hard.
You know, I mean, he's going to be, and I don't
Well,
really.
it's usually because it's the clay, but he's so damn good on clay.
Right.
That's usually the one that gets everybody the last
Right.
because they're good on all the other three surfaces because they played on it for so long.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I don't really know what happened, but I saw that Djokovic got up 6-2 in the first set,
Yeah.
and then he just kind of.
I watched it.
Yeah.
It was actually, I think it was like 3-2 in the second set.
Yeah.
And then it was one of those where he just took off.
Yeah.
And Djokovic was talking about it in the post game. I did listen to this. He said he just didn't have it in him, you know.
No, like
he's
energy.
Like, yeah, he said I tried to push the pedal and I couldn't keep up with him. Honestly, that's really what it came down to.
Yeah, he probably used everything he had to beat Sinner.
Yeah.
Because he beat Sinner in five
sets. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And I just think he just didn't have it. Now, the third set did go to a tie. I thought it was going to go to a tiebreaker, but it ended up going 7-5.
Yeah.
I was hoping it was going to go to a tiebreaker just because. But actually, I thought even if it went 5, I don't think he had a chance.
Probably not.
He just didn't have anything less. And he even said, like, he was dealing with some injuries, but he was like, he never talks about injuries because he says they're excuses. So I think I respect. I've learned to expect Novak.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that for Djokovic to win one more, it's going to have to be that Sinner and Alcaraz are not against him in the final.
I agree with you.
You know,
and that's probably impossible.
It seems
maybe in Wimbledon.
It seems like it. You know what I mean?
But yeah, I mean the problem, and let's face it, the Australian Open nobody watches because the games are on at 3 a.m.
Right.
And ESPN wasn't running any of the stuff either, so it was like to find a replay of it was pretty difficult.
So Klein, on the men's side, you a Sinner, Alcaraz, or Djokovic guy?
Sinner all the way.
Okay, just because you like the name,
yes,
and you can identify with him,
of course.
And on the women's side, are you a Sabalenka, a Coco Gauff, a Jessica Pegula?
Svitolina?
Or maybe a Svitolina fan.
I'm going to go Svetlina.
There you go.
Swiatek. No, he likes Swiatek.
Is that
Swiatek?
perfect?
I thought it was Swiatek. No?
Yeah.
Swiatek.
Did I pick the best looking one?
Who did you pick?
Svetlina.
I don't know. They all kind of look the same.
Yeah.
So they're all,
well, no, except for Sabalenka.
They're all
and Goff. Yeah. Well, duh.
They're all attractive tennis players.
Yes.
My wife was a tennis player, so I'm naturally attracted to tennis players.
Lauren played tennis?
Yeah.
In high school?
Yeah. She was
really?
Good. She was
you know
good.
What? We're gonna have to get a pickleball game.
You got to be kidding me.
I'm not.
I mean, no offense, but she doesn't seem athletic to me.
Yeah. This is fantastic.
We're gonna have to get a pickleball tournament.
I can't wait. All right, guys. Australian Open. That's it for the Australian Open.
Pat is correct. There is somebody who graduated with us at Drexel, Chris McKendry.
Yeah.
And she covers all the ESPN tennis.
Yeah.
She's like a success story from our college.
From our class?
Yeah.
Or
just like us.
93?
I don't know if it was 93, but it's like within our 5 year, like she was there when we were there at some point.
Pretty cool.
Probably graduated with Malik.
Pretty
Rose.
cool.
Right.
All right. Your last couple minutes here to vote on the YouTube poll I have out there. Are Titans real? And this goes back to HJ and I have had this thing for like 30 years that if your helmet, your logo in the NFL represents a real thing, like the Philadelphia Eagles are real. Be quiet, Schwaber. Be quiet. Just hold on. Eagles are real.
By the way, Titans are real. I looked it up.
Anyway, are Titans real? Are they real? 86% overwhelmingly in favor of no, Titans are not real.
They're wrong.
Go to YouTube right now and vote right there, right now.
We just cursed the Titans.
Leave a comment. Also, comment in the YouTube chat or Facebook. We want to know your pick for the Super Bowl. We got to do our parlay. We have to do our parlay.
Yeah, we need a few more parlay guys. Come on. Throw
Yeah.
us something.
Yeah.
Do you really want to play a parlay based on what some of these jokers are saying?
Yes.
Yeah, we got the best audience
Yes.
in the league.
We
Did you just
do,
call
but
our audience jokers.
yeah, call them jokers. So you get Pat saying take the over on the anthem. Well, who's singing the anthem? I want to know who's singing the anthem.
I have faith that Pat knows this.
I mean, if it's Christina Aguilera, she's going to do the whoa, it's going to be long. I mean, what if it's some country dude? They go really fast and short.
Yeah, well,
So
look
it's
at
not
I
a
need to
country
know
dude.
who's doing the
who's
anthem.
doing the anthem.
I have full faith in Pat Off Track.
You mean you're not even going to check?
I don't need to because
Okay.
I believe everything Pat said.
All right. So our parlay,
When it comes to anthems,
our parlay
and Super
so
Bowls.
far is over on. You can't bet on that in Pennsylvania. Actually, I don't think you can bet on that stuff in PA.
Sure, you
Look,
can.
we can figure this parlay out later.
Okay.
Let's get to what we're watching.
Okay.
And
All right.
Ottawa discard.
All right.
Interesting. It's Charlie Puth
Okay.
is singing. He's I would almost say he's kind of like a crooner.
Yeah.
I would have to say, knowing that it's Charlie Puth, I would err on the side of a shorter anthem.
There you go. Okay.
Charlie Puth was mentioned in a Taylor Swift song.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
I believe it.
Thank you, Swifty.
I believe it.
Subscribe right now. If you haven't already and you're watching on YouTube, please do that. Subscribe. Hit the notifications button every Monday night at 7 p.m. We are here at the Sports Porch, black and gold.
Mike Lawrence likes Drake
over
throwing
700
TD
shows.
passes.
We've been doing this for 7 years. We absolutely love it. We love that you're here. We love that every opinion here counts. We're not insiders. We're guys that have been watching a combined 100 years of sports, mostly football and baseball. But these guys, they like tennis and golf. So we're gonna bring some of that into the show. Baseball, hockey, all that stuff.
You sound like the pathetic company that you go on their website and they basically try to tell you that how 4 of them have a combined 196 years of experience.
We will save you billions.
It's true.
We will save you billions.
Hey, listen, I'm just spitting out facts here, man. Facts that people absolutely want to know. Mike Lawrence, take the under on Drake throwing TD passes.
I wrote it down, Mike.
Okay. Won the under on Billy Joel in Miami, says Pat Off
There
Track.
you go.
There you go.
Congratulations.
It's one of the reasons he's still off track.
That's why I have faith in him. He's a winner.
119 and a half seconds. There you go. Pat Off Track is
He's
a winner.
a winner.
He's a winner. Okay. What we're watching. What is this? Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to take it this time, Schwammer.
Take it away.
How about if I do that?
Take it away. You're feeling good.
I am. I'm feeling
You're
great.
refreshed from your vacation.
I got a new look. Yep. I got a new hat.
buying watches.
I got some Cuban cigars that I've been smoking, and I love them. Absolutely.
You shaved.
No, I saved one. For
you shaved. You found shelter and food and water.
I did. Finally.
Got some sun.
Finally. So you give so much to us just by being here and subscribing. You take the time to come and really, actually, you're entertaining us. I don't know if we're entertaining you, but you're entertaining us. So what we're going to do is we're going to give back to you that time required for entertaining yourself. And the way we're going to do that is, well, there's a lot of streaming programs out there. And I've actually started to look into some of the ones I accidentally subscribed to. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like, 8 months ago, I wanted to watch that one show. And now I haven't done anything with it. And then next week, my wife will say, well, we need to get Hulu again. And then I'll be back on the train.
Yep.
But we're going to make that decision for you. We're going to help you make that decision. We're going to give you some time back because we're going to watch a lot of this stuff. And we're going to let you know if it's good or it's bad. And you don't have to take our word for it. But I think we got a pretty good pulse on this kind of stuff here. And we all like different genres, so we give you a little different takes. So if you watched a season of a show and you want to give a review on it, that's what we're going to do here. We're going to tell you what we're watching, and if we liked it, if we didn't, if you watched a full movie or a full documentary, we're going to do it that way. That's how we're going to give back to you. How was that, Schwaber?
Not bad.
Not bad? Okay.
Not bad.
I tried to give it a little bit of a different twist. I mean, we always kind of go down the same road, but, whatever.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go with this. I'm going to go with this right away. TD's going to start here. I actually watched this today.
Oh man, I can't wait to watch this.
And I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you this right now. Miracle, The Boys of 80 on Netflix, about obviously the 1980 hockey team. that won the gold. We've all heard this story before, like the Grand Schwabby say, we heard the story, we know the people, we know the outcome.
Saw the first movie.
Right,
Saw the first movie. First movie was great with Kurt Russell, yourself.
Yeah.
Yourself being
with
the
me,
coach.
Kurt Russell. Yep. Yeah. No, this is a documentary. So it breaks down
the real people.
It breaks down the beginning of them putting this particular U.S. team together and takes them through Herb Brooks as coach all the way to winning the gold.
Good old Herbie.
I got to tell
Why'd you tell people they won the gold?
I got
Spoiler alert. Thanks for Pat.
Well, listen, let me ask you this. What was the most incredible moment of that Olympics, the hockey? What was the most incredible moment for you?
Well, when they beat the Russians, but I wasn't in the gold medal game.
That's right. How about you? I mean, I do. I remember it. I remember it.
I mean, I remember all of it.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, it was beating the Russians was the big deal.
Yeah.
But they still had the win. They still had to win that last game.
Yeah. So, okay. Two little tidbits. After that game, they wanted to celebrate. And Herb Brooks took them off the ice and made them practice harder than they ever practiced before. And he basically, then there was a news conference where he came out and they said, why aren't you, because they were starting to sign autographs and all this stuff.
Right.
He said, hey, listen, we came here for one reason and one reason only, and that was to win the gold medal. We haven't won anything yet, and
well, they won the bronze at that point.
Well, yeah, but the goal was the gold medal.
The silver.
The other thing was when he had to cut the team down from 21 to 20, the guy that he cut, said he walked into the office and Herb Brooks was crying his eyes out and literally couldn't speak to him for about 5-10 minutes. And then finally got out, I have a lot of respect for you and how hard you've tried and blah, 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 but I'm going to have to cut you. And the guy was like, at that moment, I realized he knew what I was going through exactly. And I thought, what does that mean? Well, apparently Herb Brooks was the last guy cut from the Olympic team in 1960, the last time they won the gold medal.
No, I didn't know that.
So he literally knew exactly what he was doing. And I'm going to let the rest of you guys, there's so much in here. And
there's those little things that you
I can't wait
didn't
to
know
watch.
that you like to talk about in documentaries.
Listen, if you guys...
It's amazing that you can have a fact like that after something like that happened.
Yeah.
You figure like you know everything.
Right.
But there's always something in there like, I didn't realize like the night before the guys wanted to do this and he said no and they did this instead and it made all the difference.
But obviously guys out there in sports porch land out there all around the porch in the back corner and all that, I'm giving it a thumbs up. I don't even have to say that after the review. Al Michaels did the broadcast, very young Al Michaels.
When he was good.
So
before he got
do you believe in miracles?
Yes. So the interesting thing is they interview him now, and to this day, one great quote from him. He said to this day I do get asked about that, and I get asked, was there ever anything greater in sports, and there ever be a greater moment than this? And I say no. And it's like, I go back to that and I remember I am not a hardcore hockey fan. And isn't it amazing that particular Olympics, that particular game, beating the Russians, going on to win the gold, it really is, in my memory, it is the number one sporting event I've ever watched in my life. Because I did not watch the gold game, but I did watch the Russian game because all of my friends were watching.
Maybe that's why he was so bad when Nick Foles took down the Patriots.
I don't know.
Because he had already seen the best game ever.
Yeah, possibly. So listen, guys, Miracle, Boys of 80, Netflix. If you're a hockey fan, if you're a sports fan, if you remember this time, this is a definite must watch, 100%. Hour and 40 minutes long. It's kind of long, but it is fantastic, HJ. Don't wait. I actually had something else I was going to review tonight that was really good, but I had
couldn't do it.
I watched this and was like, I'll save that for next week.
You had to do it.
Okay. The Grand Schwabini is has completed seasons 1 and seasons 2
and 3
and 3
Whoa.
and whatever of these. I did say seasons 1 and seasons 2, but this is Medici. So
you know me, I like all the foreignish type stuff. So
Right.
this whole thing is filmed in Italia. And first of all, just so you know, it's originally it's an HBO Max show.
Yeah.
However, I watched it on Prime.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's like still on HBO Max,
Yeah, it is.
But it's on Prime
It
too.
is.
So season 1 is Medici Masters of Florence, and seasons 2 and 3 is Medici the Magnificent. And it's really kind of interesting because essentially what you do is you probably follow about like, I'd say like 4 generations of the Medici. And if you don't know who the Medici are, they're world famous bankers. In Italy, they used to have like the Pope's papal account. And they also are considered a huge contributor to the Renaissance time in terms of like art and things of that sort. So like, for example, there's in Florence, there's like an incredible dome church, and like nobody had ever done a dome church like that before, and they pressed for it. Like for example, like a couple guys will pop up in this, like Leonardo da Vinci, and he was in favor of their art and stuff like that. So the bottom line is, this is 1400s, and it is it's sort of like a combination of sort of like how business was done back then
In the 1400s?
how business was done back then, and then also sort of as a part of that is there was always somebody trying to overthrow you, which means they were trying to kill you, right?
Right.
And trying to take over your country. So what I will tell you is, this is one where, look, I'm looking for something to watch. If you know me, a Peaky Blinders is like my favorite kind of show, that kind of thing,
right.
and my wife and I would love all these Italian shows like Gomorrah and Subaru.
That was a great show. Gomorrah, loved it.
So anyway, she's like, Mark, you got to find something, something Italian. So I just punched in, like what are some of the best Italian shows? And I saw a lot of lists had Medici as number 1.
Wow.
So I was like, all right, so we got to watch this. And I will have to tell you, this is something I say to my wife every time I make an incredible selection. I've done it again.
There you go.
It's an I've done it again.
All righty.
It's an automatic placement into your top 10 best shows of all time.
Wow.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not going to say it's as good as like Peaky Blinders or Gomorrah, but you can certainly make the argument it's a top 5.
Wow.
It's really, really good. It's also, I believe, done by the guy who did Peaky Blinders. So they do a lot of good incorporation of music into it as well.
I like that about Peaky
So,
Blinders.
look, if you like those kinds of shows, I think you'll love it.
Excellent.
2 thumbs up.
Medici on Prime or possibly HBO.
The one
Max.
thing I want to mention that is kind of interesting though is
kind of
season 1 and seasons 2 and 3 have completely different casts.
Oh,
which is very bizarre, because you love the cast of season 1, and then you start season 2 and you're like, what the hell's going on here?
Did I miss something?
And so basically you're like the lead character in season 2 was a baby at the end of season 1.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
And so you're like, but I like those characters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then like 3 or 4.
It's not like they like changed actors. They just like it's
correct.
many years later.
Right, correct.
That's better.
Correct,
Okay.
correct.
All right.
But it's really interesting how like then all of a sudden 3 or 4 episodes in, you're really into that cast. And I think then by the end, I really liked the new cast better. There's also one other thing I just want to mention because I find it to be the only thing about Medici that is bizarre. That there is one star who's only in season 1. Everybody else you don't know. And it's Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I have no idea how the hell he got into this movie, into the show. But
That is wild.
It's really crazy.
Does he play a pretty prominent part?
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But then by the time season 2 comes around, he's probably dead.
Right.
Okay. So Mike Lawrence has a comment here. This is along the lines of, I watched The Rip on Netflix Friday. It was okay. I give it 3/4 of a thumbs up. I think I reviewed that
You
last
did
week.
review The Rip, yeah.
There you go. Time jump, boys, says Pat Off Track. Thanks, Pat, for that. We would have never figured that out without you. Okay, HJ watched something that I've watched, but this is his review.
Oh.
Who Killed the Montreal Expos on Netflix? I thought this was great.
Yeah.
What did you think?
I thought it was great too, but probably for different reasons than you. First of all, the Montreal Expos have not played in Montreal since 2004. They were played in Montreal from 1969 to 2004. I didn't realize they played that long.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were still around 2004.
2004.
Yeah,
well,
that was 22 years.
So here's everybody knows what happened. They basically couldn't build a stadium, so they left. Basically,
right.
That's the gist.
And
of
they
it.
went to DC.
They were playing in the Olympic Stadium.
Yeah,
they were.
And it was literally falling apart.
Literally falling apart. Exactly. So what I thought was interesting was, I forgot this when they did it. I remembered it, but they got new investors in. Okay, and then the new investors basically ate up the old investors. So the new investors came in and had like 25% of the team, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the others had 75% of the team, but they couldn't do anything with the minority owners because they put a clause in there that said the minority owners could ask the other owners for money, and they would have to give it. Or if they didn't give them the money, then they could buy their shares, and that's how they would get the money. And the two minority owners had vast amount of money as opposed to the 75% that basically were taxed out. They didn't have any money left to give. So they knew that. So they basically took over the whole Montreal Expos franchise by eating up all the shares of these other guys, so they basically could do whatever they wanted.
Well, there was a forced sale, basically.
Yeah, it was, but that was in the contract, and I'm thinking to myself, like, who signs a contract like that? And then I realized who does. The Pittsburgh Pirates.
right.
Of course.
Right.
Pittsburgh Pirates signed
nobody
this,
said this wasn't a pirate show, too.
Signed this golden contract with the city that allows them to just bilk us for millions of dollars, and I'm like, son of a bitch, that's how they did it. And it like a big bright light. I'm like, that's how they did it. The damn contracts are lock solid. So there's no way the Pirates are ever going to lose. Of course, I had to turn it into a Pirates thing. But the reality is, Montreal, there was a small minority of Montreal who really loved the Expos.
Yes.
Yeah.
And honestly,
they still go to Expos Fest today.
They still go to Expos Fest today.
They had cool uniforms.
They had the great uniforms. I would actually like to see them back in Montreal, but it is true. You do have to build a damn stadium in Montreal, and they didn't want to. And honestly, that's what did them in. I didn't like the way the Washington Nationals took over the team. They were like, baseball belongs in America.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, give me a break. They play in Toronto.
Yeah, they of course they say that, but that they don't care that it's being played in Japan. They're just referencing.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb. But yeah. So I'd say if you like anything about baseball, Montreal Expos especially, you want to see how a team loses a city loses a baseball team. This is a documentary for you. I give it 2 thumbs up.
Awesome. And I did watch it. I'm not going to rehash anything you said about all that stuff. The one thing I would add is the story about the players. Pedro Martinez.
Yeah.
Who else?
Moises Alou.
Vladimir Guerrero.
Moises Alou.
Vladimir
Moises
Guerrero.
Alou,
Moises Alou.
yeah, he was a long-time manager.
They had a lot of.
Andre Dawson.
Wasn't it the strike season?
Yes.
They were
Yeah.
in position to potentially win the World Series.
They were in first place.
Yes.
They were just killing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they also bring in that perspective from the players' perspective, and these guys really wanted to win, and they wanted to win in Montreal.
And
So,
they love playing in Montreal.
yeah, they love
really
playing
did.
there. Yeah. A lot of them spoke French.
Yeah,
they got a lot of Dominican guys.
I actually saw a Phillies Expos game at Veterans Stadium where Pedro Martinez threw a rain-shortened, complete, perfect game.
That's amazing.
I believe it.
Yeah,
He was
I
damn
actually
good.
remember that.
He was
I
damn
remember that.
Yeah, I
that
think
he
it was
did
when
that.
we were in college.
So
Yeah.
two thumbs up. 2 thumbs up. Who killed the Montreal Expos? It's a couple years old, but it's a great documentary.
Yeah.
Baseball fans all around. You gotta love it. And of course, the rousing applause from the. I don't know why the applause is so short now. I have no idea why that is. On that note, yep, technical director. Guys, listen, thank you so much for being here. That's going to wrap us for tonight. This is the Sports Porch Black and Gold. And before you go, if you haven't done it yet, you're going to hit that subscribe button. You're going to click notifications on YouTube at the Sports Porch Podcast. You're going to know when we're live, and you're going to join us. And if you can't join us, you can catch up with us anywhere you can get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio app, anywhere at all. I post it right after the show. I drop the podcast. Catch our shorts on Instagram, our reels on Instagram and Facebook, our shorts on YouTube and TikTok. We're going to be pumping those out. Look for Hockey Jesus later tonight after the Pens game. Hopefully they win 1-1 right now. For the Grand Schwabini, for Hockey Jesus, I'm your technical director. We'll see you next week at the Super Bowl. I'm out. Not really.